Okay, so you know about psychopaths or like serial killers, like keeping mementos of their people. Well, I kind of do the same thing as a psychic profiler. Hello, my name is Mara, and welcome to Pretty Savvy. Hey, so I have finally gotten the go from my people. I work in private intelligence that I can kind of come out of the closet, the psychic investigator closet, with a lot of information because this is what I do. And this is if you're interested in becoming, yes, I am a child. And I'm going to show you, I play with bingo and dice and cards and art. And because I stay in my, take that as confirmation, I stay with my childlike nature. It's why I'm able to pick up on so many predators because I had been preyed on myself. So, hmm, this isn't some type of show off thing or anything like that. This is to actually educate you because I came from a very highly culty religious background. And so I didn't know that, you know, being psychic was different than being like led by the devil or anything like that. I would always, I actually did, I would dream things that would happen. I would write them down and then they would happen the next day or at church or something like that. And I got really scared. And so I asked the angels to take my dreams away. So definitely got a little bit of that prophetess thing going on there. I don't like using those words like chosen one, earth angel, all this other stuff, because I take my work very seriously. And what I do is I basically hunt predators for a living. So this is actually my last month's worth. Actually, all of this is. So now I used to do it in the physical, right? But kind of been burned. So now I just, you're welcome to all of your daughters out there because I basically go and I print out like 4 pages of profiles and then I just have a system and I can sniff out the sexual predators, the emotional abusers, and then ultimately the serial killers, right? I just upload that to my friends and family, the ABC boys. I am a consultant for all of them. You can go ahead and give them a call. I love when people call the FBI on me. Actually, they're really, I think they actually will say I'm a consultant. It depends on why you're calling. Because here's the thing: is no, anybody that meets me knows my character, right? Anybody that has worked with me knows my character. So anybody that comes saying like I'm a this, that, and the other, or I'm all of the things, right? They ended up opening up themselves to investigations. So I welcome it. I'm like, go ahead. I love being underestimated. It's my it really is my superpower. These guys right here, serial killers. Again, you're welcome, right? Because if I'm a bird dog, my actual name, okay, Bird Dog Investigations, that's the name of my psychic investigation group. And what we do over there is, you know what a bird dog does? It points, right? So there's a lot of times I'll come up with like a very inflammatory TikTok or reel or something like that. And the only reason why I'm saying it and doing it is because everybody's watching you. And so when I do that, then everybody makes calls, right? And everybody's like, oh my gosh, we got to get rid of this, blah, 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 blah. So I just flush out bad behavior, right? Because if you can be triggered, you can be controlled, right? So it's no, it's again, you are not the first people to have done this, but now I'm able to because okay, so this is how this really works is that you know I like to educate people on watching tarot, but you don't know who your tarot readers are. The reason why is because I thought I was recruited by tarot. I wasn't. People think I just like fell into the dark hole or whatever. No, I was head head picked, hunted, whatever you call it, recruited, head hunted because of my abilities, but I had no idea. I was terrified of my abilities. Right. But now, because of my abilities, I'm able to see them very much so. I mean, as soon as I meet somebody, sometimes they're so psychic, I see them before they're coming. Right. And people don't know the nuances of what psychic and it's not trying to be cool here. It's actually really uncomfortable. Now people wonder why I don't hang around people. It's like because I can hear your thoughts. And again, not trying to be cool. Like I usually can only hear the thoughts that are terrible about me. And I learned that, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, she was homeless and this, that, and the other. That was actually training for me. Right. So I learned how accurate I was. I had to learn it and trust in my abilities. Granted, my abilities, you know, they may not be, well, I think they're useful. You really want me at the birthday party or not, because I can sniff out who's diddling who, right? Like that's my, I work with predators predatory people, and it's not just men, right? It's a lot of women, right? And now I've had a, let's just say, a baptism into witchcraft, right? Which is something that I have never practiced and never wanted to touch with a 10-foot pole. But then I had to learn how to, just because you don't believe in it doesn't mean it doesn't exist, right? And then I learned I'm really good with it. But how do you do that ethically? How do you protect yourself? How do you keep your karma clean? I don't come after anybody. People are like, oh, they throw it, hide behind their Bibles, and then say she's doing magic on me. I'm like, you can say whatever you want. I'm not going to defend myself, right? Because my life, what happens, I keep my karma clean. And keeping my karma clean means not doing things to people just because you don't like me, or I broke up with you, or I'm not interested in hanging out with you, does not get like, have some respect for life. Have some respect for yourself. You have people out here that have children that are just throwing, like, actually, because it's energy, right? Witchcraft is energy, so it has to go somewhere. And if the person decides that they don't want to accept it, it's gonna go. And if the person is aware of it and now can send it back, right? Because it can hit. I don't know where, the amount of time. Here's the thing: is it also builds up. So what people don't know, they like, oh, astrology and woo and this, like, this shit is real. And I had to, because I did not believe in it. So right now, why do you think I'm out here right now? You can play around with Mercury retrograde all you want, but Big Daddy Saturn, now that's the real karma. So what were you doing on this day last year, baby? What were your intentions? Because here's the thing: is people don't realize, like, karma, because it takes a long time to catch up if you're just mired in it and you're not aware of it, or you're not around somebody that has cleared theirs, which is the key here. How do you clear karma? Stop being a shitty person. Be a good person even when no one is looking. Literally. Stop lying, stop cheating, like all of the things. Like, be a good person. Put good energy out there. It's going to take a while because it does build up. It's like a bank account. You put it in there, you're going to have to work it off. But eventually, when you work it off, then you could. So for me, if I like steal $5 from somebody, I'm going to get $500 withdrawn from my bank account within 24 hours. That's how bad my karma, and it's always been like that. I've been very respectful of the ocean, and I didn't know anything about magic. I grew up, my mother, or soon to be proven not my mother, but in her house, she was a voodoo high priestess. Didn't know it because I was raised 3 times a week going to church, right? Like, nothing, no, can't, nothing. There was like, it was such a hearty fear of any type of magic, any type of voodoo, any type of occult. I wasn't allowed to. I was complete. People are like, why are you by yourself all the time? Well, I was locked in a room, and while my parents were trafficking me out to predators for most of my life. So I dived into what I would win contests for reading like 200 books in a summer that were all 500 pages. I read Little Women in like 72 hours, probably less than that. And I could do it now in 24 hours because, so I learned all of these things, right? I'm the kid that like learned how to do, because I was by myself all the time or with predators. So it was kind of like one of the, and I didn't really remember much. I mean, but because when I started remembering, because I finally started getting sober, I was and I still, like, right now, we're about to get into readings. I need to drink either, and this is where people don't realize, they're like, oh, they're an alcoholic or this and the other. If you're an alcoholic, more than likely you're like scary, scary psychic. Because as soon as I have a beverage, it doesn't turn it off. It turns out off the noise of the barrage, right? Especially if you're, I have all of the clairs. It's not something, I'm not strong in all of them, but it's enough to, I have olfactory where I can smell. So like all the people are doing witchcraft and blah, I'm like, you all have a certain smell. It's kind of like you have different dogs and their shit smell like differently, right? So I can tell when somebody's like, I'm like, oh, and so they're like, ooh, well, we're gonna do it in the middle of the moon cycle because she won't be expecting that. And I'm like, I literally wake up to the smell of you, and I know exactly who it is. So I'm going to teach you about cards and vibration and everything like that, because there is nothing. You don't have to be. Cards saved my life. Why? Because they do not lie. And I'm not going to even bring tarot into this, especially for right now. I use tarot supplementary. You find me another psychic that'll give you a 30-day guarantee. I would never come out of the closet. I would not be as protected and loved by the feds if I were a shitty person, or if I practiced divination incorrectly, or if I was going around killing chickens, sprinkling graveyard dirt and all that other stuff, right? Like I supplement information. I'm a dot connector, right? Pattern recognition. My big goal, you want to know my big goal so you can like go do magic? Like, oh, we're going to take our goals away. I want to be an international hostage negotiator, right? Like that's literally what I was recruited for in the first place because I was top of my class at Delta. They plucked me out and said, we need your help, A, with your family, right? Because they've been poisoning you and all this other stuff. I mean, y'all don't even know, right? Y'all know me from like little freaking San Antonio, you small minded people. I'm like, I've flown all over this country. I mean, Nashville, like 6 times a month, right? You get to know patterns, you get to know people. You get in Texas. I came to, I thought DC was, I was like, get me back to DC. I will take these stoic, I'm telling you, like the Texas bases, literally Delta, right? One of the best airlines in America shut down their Texas bases because they were like, we're not going to let people. They were the first people to employ Black and gay and airline. I mean, they actually they pay for all of the big, like in Minneapolis and everything like that. Delta is who sponsors it, right? They are very open and loving, and they tell you when you get into class. Think about it. 500,000 applications for 1,900 positions. You feel pretty damn special, right? They spend $25,000 on you. It's probably more than that because that was 2018. Okay, so you get fitted. Like we had Zach Posen. Like it's a whole ass thing. They have a whole ass. So when people are like, "Oh, she's getting on this, that, and the other," oh, sure, but I have to be able to serve a first class customer, Delta Diamond service, right? Obviously, I'm not a hoodlum, right? Didn't screw any pilots, didn't steal anybody. Like the man, I was running away from my abusive husband. I was not trying to get anybody else's because the pilots, we love them. We love the God complex because they have so much ego that they have the wherewithal to like save people's lives, just like anybody in the military or a surgeon, right? But they're not the warmest, friendliest people. So you have to be able to speak real good, right? Who does she think she's so bougie? Right? What? Because I have proper diction. I have to be able to speak to anybody, not just the people I prefer to see on my TV screen. Right? Like you have no idea. And you know what? I grew up with a very very judgmental, prejudiced woman, and so the things that I would hear, like, oh, Puerto Ricans, they sleep with their sisters. I went to DC and moved in with these guys that were Arabic. Like I was terrified, and they were the kindest, most lovely, protective, shoving food down my face because I had just like escaped. When I say escaped my husband, escape, I had to escape my dog because he wasn't feeding her. Meanwhile, he has a whole other family. I have no money. He took all the money out of the bank account, and for 2 years, I was living in a car that like I was terrified. Parking, sleeping in the car, parking parking lots with it backwards so that I wouldn't get, like my friends, my flight attendant friends, while I was gone, had my car keys and would move the car around the hotel parking lot so it wouldn't get, because that's the only thing I had to my name. So yeah, I'm really excited to be able to come out of this ICA closet because like now everything's on the table. I can show you my process, all of the things, and so get a little emotional there, but that's who I am, right? It really is who I am. So we're gonna have a lot of fun. I've had this. I've had to keep basically the lid closed on an entire investigation until everything was like kind of wrapped up and all of the lab results came in. Hi, Edith. So a family that has taken money to evict me, get me out, has slandered my name in the community. Like I'm talking like bad, right? Accused me of witchcraft, all of this other stuff. It's all going around, and it was all because of one person, a white supremacist hatred for me, and she poisoned the whole well. But the well was already poisoned. Here's the thing: is these people didn't know they were already under investigation, and then I came in just like do, like really just trying to have a date for the first time in freaking 4.5 years that wasn't work, and they went for the jugular, and I've had to sit here and take it and keep my mouth shut, or at least until everything's been wrapped up, and no ma. So I'm gonna literally, because here's the thing: is like, no, the skippity paps are out. I'm putting my skippity paps on you, right? Because you want to go around and spread falsities around me, like making up all sorts of crazy narratives, right? Because I'm a pretty girl thinking like I want to like I didn't want to get married again. It was an arrangement at first. I never wanted to get married again. Never wanted to have I've lost three. I'm good. I just wanted to have fun with a person that I love. And they came. When I say the jugular, the amount of black magic, but the amount of evidence, right? And then the amount of, because people didn't realize who it was, right? They just said I was alone. They saw that I was alone, right? I was alone for a reason because I had the Greeks after me. I had the freaking Temecula Hells Angels, every freaking black motorcycle club, and the gay bishops and everything like that in San Antonio. I'll give you their phone numbers. You want some information, some tea on who I really am? Come here, come say something to my face. I will give you all of their phone numbers as well as their records for the indictments that have come down. Okay? Come for me again. So, I'm going to fill in the gaps. And so we're going to take each family member. So here's the thing, like with cards, all you have to do, everything, the cards are a vibration. So I work with about 30 decks and they all have a different reason. Like this one, Pure Intention, is like, they don't like you. They're keeping a secret. Secret, not a secret. There's no like, oh, Lucifer, come down and impregnate me with a holy blah, 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 blah. So I can get, no, excuse me, cards read information. A dog walks by, the dog card comes out. That's why tarot is not good for accuracy. That's why you go to shitty. And if you don't know what vibration means when it comes to cards, here's the thing: is a lot of psychics, they don't understand the cards. I'm not saying they don't know the they don't understand the actual vibration. So when the first card comes out, it's always a discard. So if you're always thinking that the first card comes out is actually the beginning of the reading, the whole reading gets thrown off. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when you understand the nature of cards, and it happens in every single card deck, then you can get so much more accurate. And then I test myself. I would never come out here, give somebody a 30-day back guarantee back on divination. Hell yeah, because I can over and over and over again. I will not, a fact will not come out of my mouth until I've checked it 3 times. It's not gonna, unless I'm divinating, right? I'm in the middle, right? Which we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be doing cold readings on these folks. And I'm gonna show you how random. I say random that I'm not sitting here like I've got the pile. That's why gosh, I get so much off of pick a cards, like pile divination, when I have the cards already picked out. But people just, they're like, nope, she memorized it, she planned it. So that's why I like everything to come out in the wash, as they say in Baltimore. Hi, you're about to get lit the fuck up. Happy 4th of July. So, yeah, so I'm going to show you like how I say random, but how I work with, you can call it the universe. You can call, I don't believe that I'm like working with God or something like that. I know that all this is like brainwave. Like I love God, and that's my religion, and what I feel is completely different than actually just working with energy, which is what I do. And yes, I'm realizing I can do Reiki and all this other stuff, but the word of it turns me off because it's like Reiki, like I'm like running around like in a, I don't know, a loincloth or something like that and banging on drums. And really, it's just energy work. You can transfer energy from your hand. You can just do these little things. And so I'm going to show you these little things. So just like with the cards. So I have this whole family. I'm going to randomly, like, I mean, obviously I wrote them down, right? But I'm going to randomly pick them out of a hat. And then I'm going to randomly ask the questions. And then I'm going to randomly pick those things. So I've got everybody's names down here. So then we're going to pick randomly. We're going to get the store. And then so here's the thing. This is what's really fun. I'm just going to show you how much faith I have in the universe. And I work with very, very over 47 pilots. I was counting it the other day. Pilots, 757s, like logical minded men that make lots and lots of money that I did not screw. You know what? In fact, I helped them from being screwed. Actually, no, I'm seriously pilot. But again, the God company, you can have it. I have much mad respect for you, but I got a lot of wealthy men out of many divorces that could have been crazy messy. Okay, so that's why I have such, because all these men, think about it, like all these pilots that are turning 65, it's a mandatory retirement. I help them go be with the love of their lives, and guess who they're friends with, right? They're all former military. This is how I got into private intelligence, because I have an excellent character. I have an excellent track record. track record and I don't screw anybody. So 150 questions. And these are, I've got ones for profiling, for all this other stuff. So this is like motives and manipulation. So we got 10 of those, right? So I was doing one for a client. So I just go in here. So I'm going to show you. Like you can do it really, really fun because like I said, I'm a child and I like randomness. So I like testing things over and over. If you've ever watched Tim Ferriss, one of my favorites, because he's always doing experiments. He's the guy who wrote the 4-Hour Work Week and the 4-Hour Chef and the 4-Hour this, that, and the other. And it's because like, how do I get, the most, I don't know if he's a Capricorn, but we love being efficient. I like have the shortest amount of time with the least amount of money, with the least amount of effort, but the best outcome, right? So yeah, I have a bingo cage. So if I'm asking a question here, I didn't put an intention. Now here's the thing: you have to write things down. There's that Harvard study that is like I forgot how many students they had, but they had like let's say 100 of them. Write down all of their goals, and another 100 not write down their goals but just state them out loud. 80% of the people that wrote their goals down didn't even matter. It actually happened. Intention matters. People are like, oh, which intention? What does intention? Do you have a dictionary? Do I need to get you a thesaurus? Do you even know what a thesaurus is? Do you know what a synonym is or an antonym or anything like that? Oh no. Okay, so here we have 58. I don't have a number 58 on here, so I'm going to go ahead and use not numerology. I'm going to use math. If I was doing a tarot reading, I would use the numerology of this. Here's another thing: is 6 clairs, remote viewer, prophetess, all this other stuff. I still 5 + 8 have to count on my hand. No concept of math. Worst place scenario. I was gonna say worst case. Like seriously, if someone's life was in like, I know what 90 seconds feel like when I have to egress 25 separate different aircraft with all this other stuff, FAA, like egress the plane in 90 seconds. But if somebody like asks me to tell them the time on an analog watch, like the one with the clock face, or add 5 + 8 in front of them, I'm like, drool starts coming down. Know your limits. Know thyself. That's all I say, right? Also I have excited. I have my astro dice in here, but now I'm like, how do I get in here without this like there's the little cage thing. So you can also, so I love using different divination ways because you get so much more information, because the way it works is actually your subconscious. It has nothing to do with like, the card, the devil's giving you all the information. No, the cards work on subconscious. So that's why people don't want, that are like shitty people, don't want you slinging cards. They're like, and seriously, like, is somebody cheating on me? You can figure that out in 2 cards. Okay. And you don't have to have tarot. Again, these aren't most of my cards are not tarot cards. I have a very specific deck. Look at this. Okay. Oh, it is here. If you want to know if somebody's doing magic on you, just get the Enchanted Lenormand. You can even tell if they're black or white or Mexican or Latino or whatever it is. Yeah. But this little deck right here. So you see, we've got a dark skinned lady, but we also have a Caucasian lady. So seriously, like when you're flipping this, we got the dog, right? Like these cards will come out if like, let's say a Latina, like let's say it's a Latina that can pass, like Sarah, right? The card will pick up on the mixed part of her. So I'll know she's mixed. But this is one of the most sensitive decks. I'm talking about, you walk past it and it'll pop out of the deck. Like it's called the Enchanted Lenormand. And if you have someone pulling cards on you or reading on you or anything like that, this particular one has the psychic in it. So you can tell if somebody's doing readings on you, okay, no harm, no foul, whatever. But if someone is doing magic on you or there is foul, it will come up in reverse. So if people step into your energy because they're trying to do the things, right? Then, so see, we have a Caucasian lady. So how you can make this even more specific is writing their names on it. So who's currently doing witchcraft on me? Because the name holds a vibration and an intention. That's why I had to stop using playing cards and I had to use blank cards, because the playing cards already have intention for them. So the card will come up, and it took me like almost a year to figure that out. And that's why I wasn't able to come out of the closet, because my readings weren't as accurate that I wanted to be able to, do a 30-day back. So like, who's actively doing witchcraft, like at this moment on me? Yeah. People that don't want to be seen. So this would be Sarah. Shocker. And Donald's sister-in-law. Okay. So, right. And so I can tell when they're doing it at the same time. Then I have other cards that I can tell what kind of it, it is and all the other stuff. So there's that. And then there's that. So what I'll do is I'll take the investigative questions, right? And I can either do the bingo ball or this is my favorite, but it has to be a flat surface. I can't find the 100-sided one. This one's like 65, 59 is the highest. Oh, 18, no, that's 81. So let's just say 60 because I see a 57 here. So a 60-sided dice. So I can roll this, but because I'm only, so look at how cool are these? I didn't even know they existed. So I got like a 20-sided die, like a 22 or something like, I don't know. There's a one that's just 4. There's one that's like 16. Okay, that's 20. This one is 12 or 9-sided. And so I would take the 9 because all of these are no. So I need to go to a 10. I need to have a minimum of 10 for me. Yeah, there we go. So this one goes to 15. So then I'll just roll the dice and be like, question number 7. Okay, who orchestrated the smear campaign? Well, considering that this person is in my energy and doing active black magic on me right now, I'm going to go ahead and say it's Sarah. So then how would I go ahead? And so first of all, what I do when I profile people is I'm going to take my animal deck and I'm going to profile like just basic, like where they're at right now, because this won't come up. It's where they're at right now. Right. So this can change even during the day, which is lovely because you can just pull cards on people all day and know what their mood is or what their, what their intentions. And then if you have the card over here, so I'm going to be like, so what is this young lady's and older ladies' intention with the magic? We'll go for a really, really, because we're going to go in depth with these. These are going to be a lot of fun. Everybody in the crew is going to get but I just wanted to show you exactly how I go about it. Okay, so why are they doing magic on me right now? Probably because they saw their names. Let's see here. Oh yeah, dealings or relationship with a woman in reverse. Oh, defending your mama, your cheating whore of a mother. Successful outcome to your problems in reverse. Yeah, wanting to unlock this key of I did so much magic on you and now I'm going to accuse you of it. And the owl, good advice from a wise person in reverse. Yeah, they were lied to. So we're gonna go down this snowball hill of you wanted to take my birthday, my holidays, take my income, my person, my safety, my reputation. It's over with. We're done. You can ask everybody else. It'll be probably about a year before like the actual, so you can go ahead and try and get your story straight or whatever it is. But I do not come. I survived my parents. I survived my family. I survived an entire city. I have survived this city. Nah, bro. You came for the wrong one. No regrets. Catch you on the flip, bitches.